Hi, this is Cryptonomic. Today I will talk about technical analysis of Bitcoin, the trend, and how to analyze it. So Bitcoin TA or technical analysis is different from traditional market. So, so how is it different from traditional market? Okay, if you take a look at Dow Jones or things like Tesla, or maybe I use examples such as Apple. So or Tesla. So you can see all these like $1 trillion or near $1 trillion companies. Their graph, right? You can see trend. So there is consolidation within the shorter time frame, but there is actually a trend in the longer time frame. The trend is let's say for Apple stock for the past 1 year, right? You can see it's generally on the longer time horizon is an uptrend. And you can see this uptrend is characterized by a very smooth gradient, right? If I plot a line, a line, what we call in statistics, a good fit, right? A line of good fit. You can really see that this is like a 30-degree line moving up, right? So there's consolidation within the trend. The trend might not be very strong or very obvious, but usually there is a trend. So you have a shorter time frame consolidation and a longer time frame. That is a trend, right? And usually it trend up unless you have a financial crisis. So this is how you look at the technical analysis for traditional markets. So for Dow Jones is pretty much the same, right? You can see that this is mainly consolidation. Consolidation is actually a range bound price action, which is actually going up or going down, going up or going down. And that is somewhat a very weak trend. So you can plot a line of good fit, right? Which is about I think it's around 20 degree, right? 20 degrees. So it's a gently sloping upward line. But for Bitcoin, it's actually very, very different. So for Bitcoin, it's very, very different because you either get a consolidation, which is a flat, or you get a pump, or you get a dump, right? So because the upward trend is not very stable. It's not very stable. It's not like the traditional market where you have a 1 year gentle gradient, right? So let's look at the past 1 year. Past 1 year, we can see that crypto is okay. You can see that there is somewhat of a trend. Because this low is somewhat higher than the previous low, and this high is somewhat in October last year is somewhat higher than the previous high, and you can say that make a very weak argument that this is an uptrend, but it looks more like a consolidation to me. But you can't draw a good fit line because the volatility is too. Big. What do people mean by the volatility is too big? Is that the peak and trough, they are very far apart. So if let's say it's very difficult to draw a good fit line because basically a good fit line doesn't really exist. It doesn't really fit very well into the graph. So let's say if actually this gets narrow, right? The range gets narrow. The peak is actually lowered and the bottom actually lifts up higher, right? You can see the trend more clearly. And the reason for that, that kind of volatility has to do with the unique price action of the crypto market itself. Because crypto market does not go up or down very slowly. Very slowly, right? Because for traditional market, let's say if we have an uptrend over 1 year, right, you can really see the trend that's moving up very, very slowly. But in crypto market is different. Either it doesn't move. You can see that, okay, from June to August, it doesn't move. It's mainly consolidation. Consolidation slightly downwards, then followed by a pump, then followed by a pump again. So it's like there are only three states. Is not moving in either direction, or pump, or dump. Yeah, it go up very quickly and go down very quickly. So it's a very different. You get a different kind of feeling when you're assessing the market. So it's like okay, if let's say if we use this kind of analogy, personality analogy, right? If we say the traditional market are a person with normal temperament, crypto is like someone with bipolar personality disorder. It either stays very quiet or suddenly or it erupts suddenly, and it either stay range bound or it collapses suddenly. So you can see that the rise and the downfall occurs very, very quickly. So it's not easy to observe a trend and ride on the trend in crypto markets in general, because crypto market is defined by a three market state, right? So actually, this is what I observe. So either it stays flat, consolidating, or it suddenly pump up within a very short period of time, or suddenly pump up within a very short period of time. So right now we are consolidating again, right? So what will happen? What will happen in the next coming time frame, right? So so basically there are only three possibilities. One is that it will continue to stay flat and consolidate within this range, which is 35,000 to 42,000 range, right? So that's one possibility. But eventually it will come to a stop, because we know that market state is always changing. So when it comes to a stop, this state comes to a stop, it will either go up or go down, right? So that sounds like the only logical conclusion, right? If these states no longer exist, this consolidation state no longer exist, it either go up or go down. But let's be aware of the basic characteristic of crypto market, that if it goes up, right, it will not be goes up. It will not be going up slowly, right? It will be something like what happens in August, right? So there will be a sharp pump. So basically, you could find the entire market just within 1 or 2 weeks move by $10,000 or $15,000 for Bitcoin, right? And it stay flat for a long time and move up very quickly again. So this is a characteristic. So let's say in other case, in the less likely scenario, it will continue to dip, right? But for that to happen, you must have a very, very catastrophic event, something like the pandemic that we saw in 2020, which I don't think so. We don't have that kind of situation. We already have a rather bearish momentum that's keeping the price down at the moment, which is the ongoing military crisis in Ukraine, the military conflict, and the other thing is the expected rate. The rate high that which will continue for the rest of the year, right? So these two will keep the market suppressed for quite some time, right? So we are likely to see Bitcoin going up very sharply. Right? If you want to see like Bitcoin going to like 200K, 300K by August or by September, that is something that is less likely to happen, because all the external forces are keeping the price down. But if let's say we are going to break the 30K strong support and going into the 20K range, that is something I don't think likely either, because like I say, you need something that's very bearish, like a 2008 financial crisis or a new pandemic, right? So that is kind of the events that happen once every 10 years, and we are just we are just 2 years past the previous major crisis in financial market. So to get below 30K is a small possibility. So that left with the only possible conclusion that in the future we're going to get pumped up, and when it happens, you don't get any notice. You only notice by the time once it's over, right? So imagine at last year during end of July, right? So let's say the price get pumped up from 31K to 41K. So you might think it's just a consolidation. It might just come down again, but yeah, it comes down a little bit, but it get pumped again, and it starts to consolidate. Oh, we are at a new level. We are no more at 30K. We are actually at 48K. Wow, that's like a more than 15K increase in the range, right? So it suddenly happened. By the time it happens, it's already over, right? So it's very anticipate. It's very difficult to anticipate the move, because by the times it happens, it's already over. You see it when it's already completed. So that is very different from traditional market, because in traditional market we emphasize it. There's this trading very common trading advice is don't try to time the market. Try to enter the market at the beginning phase of the upward trend. Right? But in crypto market, it's impossible to try to catch the beginning phase of the upward trend, because by the time you realize that the upward trend is happening, it's already over. So these are the very important difference between traditional market and crypto market. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you gain some insight.